Good morning and welcome to the regular meeting for City Council for Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023. Can I have a motion to waive the rules of council because we're beginning later than we should be?
Motion to waive rules, Madam President.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Rules are waived. Thank you. Well, I have a meeting announcements. All meetings are live streamed on the City Channel Pittsburgh YouTube channel. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Reverend Burgess. Mr. Coghill.
Here.
Ms. Gross. Mr. Kraus.
Here.
Mr. Lavelle. Mrs. Strasburger.
Here.
Ms. Warwick. Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Mrs. Kelsmith, President.
Here.
5 members present.
Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing if you're able for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Our next order of business is to amend the agenda. Is there a motion to amend the agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Agenda is amended. And our next order of business is proclamations. And we have a few to be presented. We have one for Councilman Burgess and he's and myself, although I know he has a medical appointment, a doctor's appointment. Can we have PMT first, Pittsburgh Musical Theater? And then we'll do the kids. She'll take a little bit longer. Come forward up here, please. When you're called for a proclamation, please come to the front, to the left first. And if there's not enough room, to the right. You can come up with me. I'm presenting, so you can come up with me. Thanks. First, if you've never heard of Pittsburgh Musical Theater in the West End, it's an amazing program that puts on performances. Not only do they put on performances in Pittsburgh and at the Bayham and in the West End, they also do performances for the community, for different events. They are constantly helping the community, and they're an integral part of our community, and I just want to thank them for their partnership over the years and all that you've done for people in every neighborhood and for our entire community. So thank you very much, and for the city of Pittsburgh. So with that said, I'll tell you a little bit more about them in the proclamation. Whereas Pittsburgh Musical Theater, PMT, is an anchor to the West End community where they have made their home since 2000, supporting the neighborhood through space-sharing events, and draw over 12,000 visitors every year to the West End. And whereas PMT, a nonprofit performing arts organization, is committed to education, training, and outreach programs in order to enrich the lives of Pittsburgh youth by introducing them to the musical theater experience. And whereas each year, more than 500 students ages 4 to 18 study drama, dance, and voice. The skills that students learn through the various training, mentorship, and performances are transferable life skills that produce future leaders, foster a community of belonging, and enhance the vibrancy of our region. And whereas PMT cultivates a diverse, creative community in a safe, inclusive environment, they promote wellness and safety and freedom of expression for young artists and local professionals in order to create quality productions for all audiences. And whereas Pittsburgh Musical Theater successfully produces Broadway's favorites at the Bayham Theater, such as the upcoming production of Jersey Boys, which opens on May 4th, and now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby commend Pittsburgh Musical Theater for their dedication to the arts and the youth of this city. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023 to be Pittsburgh Musical Theater Day in the City of Pittsburgh. Can I have a motion to approve in a second?
So moved, Madam President.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Proclamation's approved. Thank you so much. Say if you don't know, Colleen Doino, who really, when I tell you she does a lot for our kids in the community, it's amazing what she does. And this program really doesn't receive the funding and the accolades that they should. And I just want to thank you. No, you really should. You do so much for everyone across the city of Pittsburgh. And I just really want people to recognize what you do and what your contributions have been to not only our region, but to the greater region.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. On behalf of 12 full-time staff, 30 resident artist faculty members, 250 students, and 12,000 patrons per year. We'd like to thank Pittsburgh City Council members and especially Council President Teresa Kale-Smith. We consider her one of our own. We thank you for all your support over the last 23 years. The PMT has made West End their forever home. We are dedicated to being the anchor of the West End community and District 2 and Zone 6 areas. As we embark on our current $8 million renovation, we hope to be the catalyst that re-energizes and sparks economic development of the West End community. Again, we thank you all for your support that you've done in the past and ongoing, and we're so proud to be residents and have our forever home in the city of Pittsburgh. Thank you so much.
Everyone come up for the photo? You all want to join us for the photo? If people are interested in getting involved in Pittsburgh, is there a number or a website or something? After Colleen does.
So if you have a student between the age of 4 to 18 years old, or you are an aspiring artist, you should contact us at pittsburghmusicals.com. Very easy.
Oh, good. That's
Yeah,
good. Okay.
That's great.
Thank you. You want to say something now?
I just really wanted to say congratulations, Colleen. As you know, my daughter was a student of PMT many years ago. I will say you have not changed hardly at all. And, you know, it's more than just, you know, the being around theater. It really is, you produce really well-rounded individuals. And my daughter's one of them. And to this day, some of her best friends she had met through PMT. And she's turned out some really big stars, by the way. A lot of people are on Broadway. I know Paul McGill was one of them, and so many others. So I've enjoyed it. My daughter loved her time spent there, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was good. One of your students has just got hired with the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust. What was it for? Do you remember?
With the Pittsburgh Culture Trust? Yeah.
Well, not them. It was maybe the mine. I can't remember. I can't remember. Just got hired as an executive director.
Can you guys continue this off hours?
I just will say one of her students also got another prestigious award. I have to look it up and tell you. Okay, so everyone, let's take a photo. You want to hold your proclamation up?
Yes.
There you go. Watch it don't fall out because it cuts off.
You're good. Madam Clerk. Madam Clerk. Do we know where the proclamation is?
Our clerk. Ashley.
I didn't see you back there. Sorry. Want to come forward? We have I got to tell you, Mayor Gainey's been over here because Pittsburgh Public Schools has been doing some amazing things, and he's making sure that we recognize you in a very public way. And so I want to thank the mayor for that, but I also want to say thank you to Pittsburgh Public Schools for all the amazing things they're doing, not just in terms of sports, but in terms of education. Mayor, it's all yours.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How you doing?
Mayor.
Today we want to celebrate the Obama Academy Girls Basketball Championship for winning back-to-back championships in the city of Pittsburgh. For that, y'all should clap. You know, a lot of times all we hear if we listen to the media is that our young kids do negative things. Like I've never seen in the media in a long time where they talked about the positive things that our youth do. You just heard of the group that came up before us and how many young people that they turned into Broadway and things of that sort. Well, here's another positive story. The Obama, the girls basketball team who won championships back-to-back in this city and how difficult that is. And continue to do good in school and do good in the community. That's what we need to focus on. We need to focus on our youth and acknowledge and honor our youth for the good that they do. If you want them to be good, accelerate that by making sure you talk about the goodness that they do. And so I am honored here this morning to have the Obama basketball team come on up under the leadership of Monique McCoy as they won back-to-back championships. Come on up, come on up. Come on, we can do better than that. Give it up, give it up. We would also like to be joined by Superintendent Dr. Wayne Waters, Athletic Director Karen Arnold, the Principal, where's she at? And the whole PPS staff, come on up. That's what the council president said. I got to follow orders now. So I wanted them to come over here before I asked them to come up here. To every parent of the Obama Eagles girls basketball team, can you please stand? All the parents, can you please stand? Thank you. I just want to say thank you. Whereas the Obama Eagles girls basketball team is still a dynamic combination of resiliency, hard work, and beauty inside and out. They just won their second consecutive City League Girls Championship, defeating Alderdice 75-29. Was it a game? It was the 23rd successive session win and their sixth championship in 12 years. 6 championships in 12 years. And whereas this year the Pittsburgh Obama girls basketball team record at 17-4 winning record on their way to becoming back-to-back City League Girls Championships in 22 and 23. The achievement represents the Obama girls basketball team 6th City League title in the past 12 years. That's amazing. You got to give, I like for the coach to just step out for a minute. Coach, step out. Step out, coach. Yeah. Step out, coach. Coach, step out. Step out. Step out. And the reason why I wanted her to step out is because sometimes we don't understand what legacy look like. And this is what legacy of her father, Mr. McCoy, who was a tremendous basketball player in his own right. This is what the legacy looks like. Her brother, Jim McCoy, that was a tremendous basketball player. This is what the legacy looks like. And a lot of times we don't understand the pedigree that somebody comes from. But she has decades of coaching and basketball in her. And I want her to say, I just personally want to say thank you, Ms. McCoy. Because a lot of times, you know, female coaches don't come from the neighborhood, you do. And they can look up to you and see what excellence looks like. And I wanted to make sure that that was represented today and talked about today, so as they go back to their community, they understand what it means to grow up and not just grow old. You are the definition of a legacy that says, I am excellence, and I wanted to demonstrate and appreciate you today. So, Ms. McCoy, I'd like for you to come up here, because I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you this, but I want you to speak. Congratulations.
Thank you. I was not prepared to speak. I cannot accept this prestigious award without acknowledging great, awesome coaches. I can't do without what I do without them. And of course, my team. They work so hard. I know I get on their nerves with the nagging and whatnot, but the hard work that these young ladies put in and day out, all year round, not just during the basketball season. They take out time during their summer to work on their game. So it's an all year round thing. So again, I cannot accept this award without acknowledging my team, my staff, and of course, the Pittsburgh Public Schools staff for hiring me, Dr. Walters for hiring me and believing in me. I cannot accept this without acknowledging them. And of course, last but not least, thanking God for putting me in this position, because without him, I am nothing. So thank you. I'm going to ask Taylor Woodruff to come up and say a couple words.
Wow, come on.
Come on, Taylor.
I'm choosing Taylor Woodruff for many, many reasons. One of the reasons is, of course, she's a senior. This season did not have the season that she wanted to have. Last year, this time, she had an injury during her AAU season. And it's hard to be injured. It's very hard to be injured. And to watch your teammates play, practice, work hard, and not feel like you have a voice. But she did have a voice. She still remained very committed to her teammates. She still remained very committed to her schoolwork. And schools noticed that. And as a result, she will be going to Penn State Beaver in the fall. So I would love if Taylor would say just a couple words. I don't know what you're going to say, but make it good.
Thank you. I don't know what to really say, but I'm glad to be here. My team's goofy, so yeah. I love this team. I wouldn't rather want to do this with anyone else. Yeah, I love my team. And I love my coaches, and I love my parents and coaches, and you guys and the mayor, and I love it. I just love basketball, and I'm glad to be here today. So I don't know what else to say. Thank you, guys.
So I'm gonna go on a limb here and say the greatest superintendent PPS has ever had. Please give it up for Dr. Wayne Walton.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, City Council, Madam President, Mr. Mayor, and I bring you greetings on behalf of our Board of Directors, our leadership team, and the over 3,000 employees proudly serving the children of Pittsburgh daily. I want to acknowledge our principals who are here. The Obama basketball team is a co-op, and so we have the Obama principal over to my left, Mrs. Yolanda Colbert. New principal at Pittsburgh Science and Technology, Angelique Benjamin. Principal at University Prep at Mallions, Eric Graff. And next to Mr. Graff is the Assistant Superintendent for High Schools, Dr. Nina Sacco. Our District Athletic Director, Mrs. Karen Arnold. And over to my left, next to Mrs. Colbert, is the Co-op Athletic Director, Mrs. Star Macklin. Obama has a motto: nothing in life is so complicated that it cannot be achieved by discipline and hard work. What you see before you are students who are well-disciplined, work hard, and beyond athletes, I want to describe the kind of athletes they are. They are scholar athletes. They understand the importance of their education, as the world is extremely cruel to those who are not well educated. These students understand that. Their coach instills the discipline that allows a sport to move their academic endeavors to bring everything to fruition. So I'm really proud of these girls. A few of them were my students. So I know I may have a little bit of bias for the Barack Obama Academy of International Studies as the school's first principal. But of course, even more beautiful is they're part of the Pittsburgh public school system. So I thank them, I congratulate them, and Coach Monique McCoy. We've been on this journey for a long time. I'm really proud of the dedication, the time she instills with them, along with the assistant coaches, so Michael and Taylor, who's helping to really sort of raise these young ladies through athletics, but also understanding how important scholarship is. So thank you for this accolade and honor, and enjoy the rest of your day.
just want to make sure, do we have any school board members here? We have any school board members? Please stand up. I don't want to miss nobody. Okay. I have one more speaker, and that's the athletic director, Karen Arnold.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I got this job 4 years ago, and when I got this job, I said that it was my dream job, and I'm living my dream every day. Some of the kids here are some of my Fulton babies when I was a principal at Fulton, and other kids I have built relationships over the last couple years, and they're my kids. They're going to be my kids till the end of time, and I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of the time and effort and hard work that they've put into it. I know because Monique McCoy texts me a lot in the off season and has conversations with me, but that's the dedication that she has with the girls on the team. So I'm not going to extend it any more than that, except for to say congratulations, girls. Can't wait to see you all next year. Thank you.
A lot of talking today, but good morning to everyone. I just want to say, as I serve as the proud principal following in Dr. Walter's footsteps, I am extremely proud of you ladies. You all know that I take being a woman very seriously and leadership. I expect nothing but excellence from you. You show that every day off the court and on the court. I am proud to be a part of your legacy, so I appreciate you all for welcoming me into your space as well. And I just want to say, I want to be back here next year. Ooh, no pressure.
So, you know, we're going to get a picture of the Obama, but can we give it up for the Obama Eagles again? So we're going to get a picture, but I actually know where they get their pedigree, though. You know what I mean? I know where their pedigree comes from. Don't you, Mr. Councilman Coghill?
I do.
You know about that pedigree, don't you, huh? Yeah. Right. But you know about that one pedigree, right? Yeah.
Just one for me,
yeah,
right?
Okay. All right. They got great pedigree. I don't want to say it because I don't feel like arguing with Dr. Walters, but he knows what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You don't know?
Not really.
What's the name of the building?
The Obama Academy of International.
Oh wow! Anyway, we're gonna take a couple. I can't even get it out now. We're gonna take a couple pictures, but I just want to say thank you, Councilwoman. Thank you, Council President. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me say why. I think it means something when we bring kids to City Council and they get to see for the first time, and they get honored for something that is successful, and that couldn't be possible without you. So I wanted to make sure that I say this publicly in front of everybody. I appreciate you giving the latitude for us to come and do this, because a lot of these kids never been here before. You know, in the neighborhoods that they come from, their parents ain't never been here before. And so the reality is for them to have the ability to be here and experience council, the mayor's office. Listen, this is a big day for them. And I appreciate you allowing them to have this day. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to say something. Thank you. I just want to say I want to thank you for wanting to acknowledge the kids and all the greatness. I mean, he is one of your biggest champions, so I just hope you know that. But I also want to thank my colleagues, because they're always willing to take time to make sure that we're acknowledging the kids that are doing great things across the city of Pittsburgh. But I want to tell you, I was 50 years old before I saw this room, and I ran for office, and that's the year I won. I was 50. At the time I won, I was 50 years old. So you never know where you're leading this.
And I just want to recognize Latasha Mays' office, State Representative Latasha Mays' office. Can you stand up? I want to make sure I recognize that. Appreciate it. All right, we're going to organize this. You know, I don't organize all.
Can all the members come up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
You got it. Go ahead.
All members come up.
Come on. Yeah, go ahead over there, Teresa.
No, I'm good, man. I'm good. Please.
You know, go ahead over there. Yeah, y'all go over there.
Okay, so we're gonna have Coach McCoy and the mayor and council right here behind the lectern.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we have somebody
Mayor, they just booed me because I was from Bashir.
Stay here, lady.
I know what you were talking about.
But listen, I told him at least his school still exists.
You can't Google Peabody.
No more.
You can't Google
If we could have PPS staffers, we could have them stand up here on the sides with the adults, and then ladies, if you're on the basketball team, come down here. We really want to have you guys up front and center.
See, Teresa, I can stand right over you. You good?
I know, I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, oh, honey, I don't want to stand next to you.
Get out of here.
Taught my kids at
She was the principal for my kid.
Get out of here. And so did Dr. Sacco.
Dr. Walters was the principal for my oldest daughter. Now they done moved up. See, now this is crazy.
Beautiful. This is lovely. All right, we're going to smile for a long
All right,
time.
ready?
So everybody can get their photos.
I'll give it to you.
Look at Anthony.
Now, Chris is my guy, y'all. Hey, he went to Westinghouse, but you know, he my guy, though. You know what I mean?
Just saying.
Yeah, you know.
And Ebony's dad was at church in my district.
Oh, yeah, you know, Cargill, he went to Brashear.
Ebony, we went to Penn
We
Hills.
don't even know where that's at.
All right.
How do you feel? Fired up. Hey, Anthony, I just got buzzed. I didn't know she went to Brashear, too. Yeah.
Oh, you're a Brashear bullet.
Can I see this?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Teresa,
Thank you so much.
Y'all know the Peabody song.
We didn't.
Y'all know the Peabody song.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
We used to sing it on the way to the football games. On our way to Beacon. Yeah, you go. Any which way you want. Whichever way you see an avenue, like you teach your kids. Right? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Mike, Anthony. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, too.
Wilson? Hey, what's happening?
I thought that was nice that he walked. I just happened to come here. Pardon me? Yeah, I think you're right. I do. I just happened to be here when he was here.
Yeah.
We have other cards, right?
Yes. Okay, we have two procs to be read, or four procs to be read into the record. Madam Clerk, could you read all the procs?
Councilman Burgess presents, be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Saturday, April 29th, 2023 to be Bethany Baptist Church Day in the City of Pittsburgh. Councilman Coghill presents, be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Friday, May 5th, 2023 to be Logan Walters Day in the City of Pittsburgh. Councilman Coghill also presents, now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare May 20th, 2023 as Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month in the City of Pittsburgh. And Councilman Coghill also presents, be it further resolved, that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare April 28th, 2023 to be Workers' Memorial Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve in a second?
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Proclamations are approved, but it's my understanding, Councilman Coghill, you're going to present one of those procs?
I am, yes.
Do you want to call whoever up?
Thank you. Can I bring John, Timmy, and Rick?
Oh, I thought that was,
Awareness.
Which one?
yeah. Yeah, I couldn't see. That's why the mayor asked if there was somebody there.
You can
I
just
can
stand
see.
right here, John, and I'll read the proc, and then we'll hear from you all, okay? Come on up here, Timmy. It's Rick, right? Yeah, that's right. So this is Motorcycle Awareness Month in the city of Pittsburgh, in the state of Pennsylvania, I believe. Right. So, you know, bikers have kind of a reputation as a rough exterior, but I will tell you, the bikers that I know, the most compassionate, generous people that I've ever met. So I always love being around people who ride together in the different clubs. And just recently we had a Bikers Against Bullies rally, not with these gentlemen, but we had it up in Arlington, and they really do great work. So with that, I'm going to read the proclamation and we'll hear from a few of them. Whereas the safety of all Pittsburgh motorists is an issue of the utmost consequence, and all motorists should unite in safe sharing of the city of Pittsburgh's roadways. And motorcycle riding is a popular form of recreation and transportation for thousands of people across Pittsburgh and the Commonwealth. Whereas more than 875,000 licensed motorcyclists are required to keep their vehicles inspected and obey current laws relative to the operator's safety equipment. And in efforts to reduce the number of motorcycle crashes and fatalities, the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation and the City of Pittsburgh encourages all motorcyclists to avoid becoming another crash statistic and take advantage of the free training courses offered through the Pennsylvania Motorcycle Safety Program. Whereas it is especially significant that citizens of the City of Pittsburgh be aware of motorcycles and the streets and highways and recognize the importance of staying alert, practicing safe driving techniques, and promoting motorcycle safety. And whereas during the month of May, the City of Pittsburgh and the Alliance of Bikers Aimed Toward Education, ABATE, of Pennsylvania Allegheny County Chapter will continue their advocacy of motorcycle safety. And whereas the City of Pittsburgh encourages all motorcyclists to continue their efforts to promote safety and motorcycle awareness, and all drivers to respect the unique safety needs of motorcyclists. Now therefore be resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare May 2023 as Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month in the City of Pittsburgh.
We have a
Thank you.
motion to approve in a second.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Proclamation is approved. Thank you, Councilman. Congratulations.
John wants to say a few words.
First of all, thank you, Council, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here. This is our second annual Motorcycle Safety Awareness, and ABATE is an alliance of bikers aimed towards education. We're just all average people, and we're out here on a road, on a motorcycle. And it's been a tough act to follow. Pittsburgh Musical Theater and Obama, Barack Academy, listen to me stuttering. They're a tough crowd, and they have bright futures ahead of them. Yeah. Us, on the other hand, we could be snuffed out in an instant. And that is a dangerous thing to think about. Yeah. And no one wants to have the bad day. No one. Either end. So with that, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, John. Nice job. Anybody else? No. Timmy, you want to say anything? Was your wife Heather here? Heather, you want to come up and say anything? Can we get members up and get a picture with everybody? Come on, Bruce. Just able to button that thing up again. We need you in the pictures. Heather, what?
How do we get the signs? How do we get the signs?
The streets of my district are super crowded.
Limited all the little local motorcycle shops.
You'd like to be there.
I would love that.
It's really good.
I'll do it when I retire.
But
That would be nice. I was, we're old, we're the same age. And my uncles all had motorcycles. Exactly,
They're all
right. That's
working
right.
on Daniel had something to do with the Hill ribbon cutting announcement or something. Whatever, they have doctor's appointment for his wife.
just for the office.
Man, yeah, I'll take that.
Take that one.
Thanks. I got one from last year. Not this one. You gotta get something else last year.
Okay.
Stickers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm sure you get those.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, the next order of business is public comment. Members.
Members.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you. The next order of business is public comment, and I would like to remind everyone that the rules of council state that comments are limited to matters concern official action or deliberation which are or may be before city council. Threats and profanity will not be permitted. When you are called to speak, you please state your name and neighborhood for the record. You have 3 minutes to speak. Our first registered speaker is Dr. Ronald Lynn Miller. Dr. Miller?
Dr. Ronald N. Miller, Bill Suver, in Singapore, Global Intelligence Society U.S. Candidate for President 2024, globalintelligencesociety.org. I and the GIS use optimal information and intelligence from 21 primary disciplines to solve problems. At the University of Pittsburgh, I invented and taught theory of sport, comparing and contrasting U.S. American football, baseball, and basketball. A concern of this council that I and the GIS share, of course, and with the mayor, is Mr. Gainey, is basketball. Last week, the male XY champions, WPIAL, got a double dose of Prox, as the girls did today. Congratulations to them in their effort and success. Myself, high school, college, YMCA, and Friday night Pittsburgh basketball. I formed the Globallers in 2019, instructed by the only genius-level NBA player coach that I can identify, the Boston Celtics' Bill Russell, who emphasized applications of prime information and precocious intelligence over height and running speed in his unparalleled 11 NBA championships, what I view as a form of jazz and symphony combined with martial arts and science brilliance. I am after basketballers, XY males and XX females. Contact me at 412-969-7997 if you're interested, who possess a detailed information base about the game and the courts and the players, and who want to increase that, and who press kinesthetic intelligence, to up their BKB IQ, to make plays optimizing team score probability. My point is, repeating Mr. Burgess's 5 repeated rhetorical point to the WPIL players last week, but rejecting the content of Burgess's point, you do not need to be 6'5", 195 centimeters, and run 4.7 to play in the NBA. That was Burgess's point, and that is a lie. Stephen Curry of the Golden State Warriors is 6'1", 185 centimeters. And Curry, as many of you know, is a three-point wizard, 50 points recently in Game 7. Isaiah Thomas, and Tyrone Curtis Muggsy Bogues, 5'3" in the NBA, 14 seasons. We stress information and intelligence in the application to create team score. That's Russell all over.
Thank you. Our next registered speaker is Naomi Mullen. Is Naomi Mullen online? Thank you, Naomi. I appreciate you waiting.
Here, shady trees, not shady deals in Bon Air. This is for you, Michael. First, do no harm is not just a rule of medicine. Government shall not harm the people or can be held accountable. Blockbusting and infliction of emotional distress has occurred against Bon Air. Those who oppose the property owners of Bon Air do so at their own peril. Politicians and municipal employees are public servants. My husband was the dedicated model employee that should be emulated by others. On Saturday, April 29th, we had a meeting for Bon Air Green Space. Again, no one from the Board of Ed showed. Also, not a single citizen wanted anything other than a green space to replace the school building. Our voices are being ignored from Bon Air. We are being harmed. This is inexcusable. The dictatorial ramrod approach of PPS is abhorrent to the people, with a government that was created of the people and for the people. Jessica Benham and Anthony Coghill both attended our community meeting, thanks to our elected state representatives and city councilmen for being there. The Pennsylvania State Constitution says that government was created for the peace, safety, and happiness of we the people. Decisions and actions that harm the people are not acceptable. There are elected and appointed officials that have proven themselves to be enemies of Bon Air. That is not advisable. The school board has proven itself as detrimental. Will you be part of the solution in City Council? The Michael Mullen Memorial Green Space is a partial reparation for the injuries we have endured. A neighborhood person suggested that we have a first responder memorial, and I think I like that even better, to acknowledge others. On June 20th, 2022, the detrimental Bon Air school building worsened into being a disruptive and nuisance property. We have objected to apartments or anything other than a green space to replace the school. Tear it down. The building is a magnet to youth who broke into. In addition to trespassing, 3 of the 7 had to be escorted out of the building. Tear it down. Other neighborhoods have been blighted with worse. Do not allow it to happen to Bon Air. The outcry to the school board has proven futile. Put pressure on them to sell it to the city for $1. Tear it down. Now that McKinley Park is no longer in Bon Air, we want the school to become a green space as replacement. Open deals, not shady deals in Bon Air. Even current PPS employees have said the solution is to tear the building down to create a green space.
Thank you. And our next registered speaker is Atanti Kain Chuab. I hope I said that correctly.
Yeah, that was almost correct. Thank you.
Thank you. Please correct me. And thank you for waiting.
Grand Rising, everybody. Greetings and good day. I have came to the City Council to read from the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People pertaining to my people of 2006. I will begin by reading from Section 4, Article 21, Right to Autonomy and Self-Government, which states, our people, in exercising our right, which is indispensable to self-determination, we have the right to autonomy and self-government in matters relating to our nation states and local affairs. These rights to promote, develop, and maintain our structures according to our ancestral customs should not be encroached upon, thus should be supported. Whereas after generations of fighting against colonization and ill-conceived policies to extirpate and to assimilate our people, the declarations and articles within the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People of 2007 also pertaining to my people, which was agreed upon by members of the Organization of American States, should be implemented. For it is the duty of the United States, also the city of Pittsburgh, to utilize these articles, which were agreed upon by our people of the Americas, so that we can express our heritage and culture without fear, without being discriminated against. Till this day, I hold my mother's ashes, who passed last year. For me and my lineage are waiting for the moment where our declarations, great law of peace, and our laws are acknowledged in this area so that we can begin and restart building mounds for our people, which is according to our custom. So that when the time presents itself, our children can learn and carry on our culture and pass it on to our posterity. I read from this article and I state these words because anybody, any people in their own home being encroached, being marginalized, would stand up so that their offspring's liberties are acknowledged and respected. With that, have a good day, and thank you for having me. I have spoken.
Thank you. And our next registered speaker is Ikahana Hel Makina. Is she on? Yeah. She's on mute. You're on mute. Ikahana Hel Makina. One last time. Ikahana Hel Makina. Please unmute your...
Greetings and...
Thank you. Good morning.
Can I be heard?
Thank you for
My
waiting.
apologies. Greetings and good day. My title is Ikahana Hel Makina. I am the Grand Inca of the Iroquois Confederacy of Aborigine American People. What does a city for all really look like? How could this be a city for all when indigenous people are overlooked and kept out of any opportunity, especially when it comes to economic development? It's time to level the playing field and provide opportunity to indigenous people where opportunities exist. Our pedigree alone, our lineage dictates that any opportunity that exists should be given and or extended to indigenous people first. Opportunities to create sustainable communities, to expand our culture, to make the people aware of our culture so our culture can thrive. We also need land access to mitigate the likelihood of ever needing or being displaced in our land again. We'd love to create food forests and expand the practice of permaculture to repair the damage that agriculture has caused. So we are inviting City Council to the table to sit down with us to figure out a pathway forward where this can truly be a city for all. And I yield.
Thank you. And that exhausts our list of registered speakers. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to address City Council? Please come to the podium and state your name and neighborhood for the record. Good morning, Ms. Brown. Thank you for waiting.
Good morning. My name is Javon F. Brown. I live at 715 Mercer Street. That's up in Katy where Irvis Tires, up in the Hill District. I come today to tell you, because I believe that when you hear it, you forget it, but you see it, you remember it. So I want you to understand, here's what we believe, and we're searching for Willie Lynch. Now, I'm not sure whether a lot of you know who Willie Lynch was. Willie Lynch was a white slave driver, slave master, that went down south to tell the slave masters down there that he says, I smell the stench of a rotten body. Well, they used to just hang the slaves up and let them sort of just melt away. The smell, he says, do you realize how much money you are wasting? Each one of these slaves cost so much money. He says, but I tell you how you do it. What you do, that you start the light slave against the dark slave, the house slave against the slave in the field, the old against the young, the male against the female. And this is what I believe you used to do here at this place. You have, when any time Tim Stevens come, light-complected fella. He can speak as long as he want. You had Esther Bush, head of the Urban League, dark woman like me. She asked to speak. They wouldn't let her speak, let her. But all Tim has to do is say, may I continue? I say this because when they were talking about the police and how they were killing the black men, when they had him at the table, he started off, well, my children are of a mixed race. I became very upset because, you know, he talks black, but all his women were white. Well, they say he's got a Mexican woman now. So he's saying, if you run into these Stevens, if they're light-complected, they're my children. My son was very dark. My son died because of him being dark-complected. The man that attacked him when he walked into his woman's house, my son went to his lady's house, he got knocked out. He was knocked out and head-butted, she said, and he just slumped to the floor. My son suffered, and I still suffer. And I want you to understand, someone was saying, well, your son's been dead so many years. Do you understand? They said this, that any time that there's a death and it's violent or sudden, that does affect you. Whereas if you know that someone's going to die. Now, I want you to understand that I come down here because I am fighting for the next generation. Not me. I'm 76. I'm on my last leg, but I'm still coming. I'm still coming, and you need to understand you don't know what you don't know. And I want you to understand that I came and complained. My time is up. But remember, we got Willie Lynch's.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Our next order of business will be presentation of papers, and we'll begin with Councilman Reverend Ricky Burgess. Oh, I'm sorry, there are no further speakers, correct? Seeing no further speakers, we'll now move on to our next order of business, which is presentation of papers. Councilman Burgess, Chair of Human Resources. Councilman Coghill for Councilman Burgess.
Madam President.
Thank you, Councilman.
Reverend Burgess presents Bill Number 1471, Resolution amending Resolution 246 of 2023, which authorized the mayor and the director of the Commission on Human Relations to enter into an agreement with Keen 360 for technical support and development for its customer service portal by including ongoing technical support and maintenance and increasing the term and authorized not to exceed amount by $27,240.75 for a total cost not to exceed $53,940.75.
Thank you. And Councilman Coghill, Chair of Public Safety and Wellness.
No new papers, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Gross, Chair of Intergovernmental and Educational Affairs.
No new papers, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilwoman. And Councilman Kraus, Chair of Public Works and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Madam
Got
President.
a lot of bills.
Councilman Kraus presents Bill Number 1472, resolution granting a vacation of an unopened portion of Melmore Way laid out in the Shakespeare Street Associates Plan of Lots Number 2, recorded in Plan Book Volume 130, page 33, in the 7th Ward, 8th Council District. Bill Number 1473, resolution vacating unused paper portions of Benezet Street, Heath Street, Ewell Way, and Okra Way laid out in the Eastern Edition of New Homestead Plan of Lots, Plan Book 20, pages 12 and 13, 31st Ward, 5th Council District. Bill 1474, resolution vacating unused paper portions of White Bush Street and Heath Street laid out in the Eastern Edition of New Homestead Plan of Lots, Plan Book Volume 20, pages 12 and 13, 31st Ward, 5th Council District. And Bill 1475, resolution providing for an agreement with CSXT for preliminary engineering work on the Boundary Street Corridor pedestrian and bicycle improvements, and providing for the payment of the cost thereof not to exceed $17,215.
I'd like to request to waive Rule 8. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, apologies.
Councilman Kraus.
Yeah. Madam President, may I request the waiver of Rule 8 on Bills 1473 and 1474 so that they may appear on tomorrow's Standing Committee agenda?
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
No, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
The bills will appear on tomorrow's Standing Committee agenda. Thank you both. And Councilman Lavelle, Chair of Finance and Law. Councilwoman Strasburger for Councilman Lavelle.
Councilman Lavelle presents Bill Number 1476, resolution amending Resolution Number 714 of 2021, effective December 25, 2021, entitled Resolution Adopting the Mayor, authorizing the Mayor and the Director of the Office of Management and Budget to enter into an agreement or agreements with agencies to provide emergency shelter services, street outreach services, rental assistance, and housing relocation and stabilization services, and/or data collection activities as associated with the 2021 Emergency Solutions Grant funds at a cost not to exceed $1,214,418, so as to decrease Allegheny County Housing Authority and Three Rivers Communities, Inc. by $25,000, decrease Neighborhood Legal Services by $25,000, and increase Arborly by $50,000. Bill 1477, resolution providing for the issuance of a warrant in favor of the National League of Cities in the amount of $17,960 for the annual membership dues in the National League of Cities. And Bill Number 1478, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of David N. Casper in the amount of $12,500 in settlement of a claim for damage to his property at 1447 Warner Street from adjacent city-owned property at 1449 Warner Street on or about February 6, 2023.
Thank you. And Councilwoman Strasburger, Chair of Recreation, Youth, and Senior Services.
Councilperson Strasburger presents Bill Number 1479, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Parks and Recreation on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh to enter into a professional services agreement with Starfire Corporation for the display of a fireworks show in conjunction with the city of Pittsburgh's Independence Day Festival at an amount not to exceed $80,000. Bill 1480, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Parks and Recreation on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh to enter into an agreement or agreements for performance and entertainment services in conjunction with the city of Pittsburgh's Independence Day Festival at an amount not to exceed $17,500.
Thank you. And Councilwoman Warwick, Chair of Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Councilwoman Warwick presents Bill Number 1481, Resolution amending Resolution 575 of 2022, authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Innovation and Performance on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to enter into an agreement or agreements and amendments thereto with Monday.com, an online project management and portfolio management tool for use with multiple city departments by increasing the cost by $68,000.
Thank you. And Councilman Wilson, Chair of Land Use and Economic Development.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman Wilson presents Bill Number 1482, Resolution further amending Resolution Number 816 of 2015, effective December 18, 2015, as amended entitled, Resolution adopting and approving the 2016 capital budget and the 2016 Community Development Block Grant Program and the 2016 through 2021 Capital Improvement Program so as to reprogram funds within City Council from Habitat for Humanity minus $2,093.86 to Polish Hill Civic Association by adding $2,093.86 and authorizing a subsequent agreement or agreements.
Thank you. And myself, Chair of Hearings and Policy, I have one resolution. Madam Clerk. It didn't say that's what it is.
Council President Cal Smith presents Bill Number 1483, Resolution transferring a total of $3,444 within the 2023 operating budget from City Council to Council as a body for the purpose of professional services. Bill Number 1484, communication from Michael Lamb, City Controller, submitting the annual comprehensive financial report for the year ending December 31st, 2022. Bill Number 1485, communication from Jake Pollock, Director of the Office of Management and Budget, submitting acting pay requests on behalf of the Department of Public Works for Brittany Rawlings and the Office of the Mayor for Audrey Wells, per the acting pay policy revised in June 2018.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to read, receive, and file for the two communications?
Madam President, motion to read, receive, file on bills 1484 and 1485.
Thank you, Councilman. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And now we'll move on to unfinished business, and we have several bills here. Madam Clerk? Sorry, unfinished business. Thank you.
Bill Number 1317, resolution appointing Monica Ruiz as a member of the Planning Commission for a term set to expire January 1st, 2028. Bill 1375, resolution appointing Ali R. Abdullah as a member of the Civic Design Committee of the Public Art and Civic Design Commission for a term concurrent with that of the mayor. And Bill Number 1413, resolution appointing Pedro Quintanilla as a member of the Planning Commission for a term set to expire January 1st, 2028.
Thank you. Can we have a motion to approve and a second? Thank you.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? Any abstentions? They're all approved. Thank you both all very much for that one. Is there any other further unfinished business before City Council? Seeing none, we'll now move on to our next order of business, which are reports of committee for final action. And we'll begin with Councilman R. Daniel Lavelle, Committee on Finance and Law. Councilwoman Strasburger for Councilman Lavelle. Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman Lavelle presents Bill Number 1465, reported to Committee on Finance and Law for April 26, 2023, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill Number 1313, resolution amending Resolution Number 744 of 2022, entitled Resolution Making Appropriations to Pay the Expenses the expenses of conducting the public business of the City of Pittsburgh and for meeting the debt charges thereof for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2023, so as to reopen the 2023 operating budget to update the revenue forecast to better reflect fiscal year 2022 results, accommodate changes in the Bureau of Police in direct response to the ratified collective bargaining agreement with the Fraternal Order of Police, and make changes to associated benefit calculations. Bill number 1314, resolution amending Resolution 745 of 2022, which authorizes Stop the Violence Fund expenditures for the 2023 fiscal year by further updating current year appropriations in direct response to operating budget changes required by the ratified collective bargaining agreement with the Fraternal Order of Police. Bill number 1439, resolution amending Resolution number 52 of 2020, which authorized a professional services agreement and/or contract extension with B2G Now by increasing the total spend by $101,670 for a new not-to-exceed amount of $161,243. And Bill number 1440, resolution further amending Resolution number 723 of 2022, effective December 27, 2022, as amended, entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2023 Capital Budget, the 2023 Community Development Program, and the 2023 through 2028 Capital Improvement Program by increasing Heron Avenue Bridge by $330,000 and Elizabeth Street Bridge by $298,000.
Thank you. You've heard the reading and the title of the bills. Is there any discussion on the bills? Councilwoman Strasburger, did you have anything for this? Do you have an amendment for this one?
That was for tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay.
That was
I
clarified,
apologize.
yeah.
Thank you. Okay, you've heard, is there any discussion on the bills? Seeing none, the bills are now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage, vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Ms. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mrs. Kelsmith, President.
Aye.
7 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you. The bills having received the legally required number of votes are finally passed. And now we move on to Councilman Anthony Coghill, Committee on Public Safety and Wellness.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman Coghill presents Bill number 1466, reported to Committee on Public Safety and Wellness for April 26, 2023, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1429, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of Allegheny Crane and Rigging in an amount not to exceed $975,000 for emergency crane rental and operation in response to the Fern Hollow Bridge incident of January 2022.
You've heard the reading and the title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage, vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Ms. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mrs. Kelsmith, President.
Aye.
7 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you. The bill having received the legally required number of votes is finally passed. And that moves us on to Councilman Bruce Kraus, Committee on Public Works and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilman. That's a busy committee.
Councilman Kraus presents Bill number 1467, reported to Committee on Public Works and Infrastructure for April 26, 2023, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1435, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure to apply for grant funding from the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources Community Conservation Partnerships Program to provide funding for the Southside Three Rivers Heritage Trail repaving project. The grant proposal includes an ask of $44,689 with a match of $44,689 from the City of Pittsburgh's capital budget for a total project cost of $89,378 for this stated purpose. Bill 1436, Resolution providing for an amended reimbursement agreement or agreements with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for costs associated with the preliminary design phase of the Elizabeth Street Bridge Rehabilitation Project, providing for the payment of the cost thereof not to exceed $650,000, an increase of $298,000 from the previously executed agreement. This resolution serves to authorize only the amended reimbursement agreement or agreements at no cost to the City of Pittsburgh. Future resolutions will authorize the project-specific service agreements. Bill 1437, resolution providing for an amended reimbursement agreement or agreements with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for costs associated with the preliminary design phase of the Heron Avenue Bridge project, providing for the payment of the cost thereof not to exceed $721,000, an increase of $330,000 from the previously executed agreement. This resolution serves to authorize only the amended reimbursement agreement or agreements at no cost to the City of Pittsburgh. Future resolutions will authorize the project-specific service agreements. Bill 1438, resolution amending Resolution 305 of 2022 entitled Resolution Authorizing the Mayor and the Director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to enter into a license agreement with the Allegheny County to provide access for the city to detour bicycle trail facilities during certain city construction activities along McKean Street, to modify the language to authorize a new agreement with the county for further trail detours. And Bill 1461, resolution authorizing the mayor, the director of the Department of Finance, and the director of the Department of Public Works on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to enter into an agreement or agreements with Duquesne Light Company, granting it a permanent utility easement for the erection, installation, use, operation, maintenance, repair, and removal of an underground system consisting of cables, wires, transformer, and other fixtures and apparatus thereto, belonging upon, over, unto, under, across, and through city property located in Allegheny Commons West Park and fronting on Arch Street, situated in the 22nd Ward, City of Pittsburgh, Allegheny County, for the purpose of providing electrical services in Allegheny Commons.
Thank you. You've heard the reading of the title of the bills. Is there any discussion on the bills? Seeing none, the bills are now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage, vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Ms. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mrs. Kelsmith, President.
Aye.
7 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you. The bills having received the legally required number of votes are finally passed. And that moves us on to Councilman Bobby Wilson, Committee on Land Use and Economic Development.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman Wilson presents Bill Number 1468, reported to Committee on Land Use and Economic Development for April 26, 2023, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1443, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of City Planning to enter into an agreement or agreements with the Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission for the purpose of receiving and spending grant funds in the amount of $12,500 to complete an architectural survey of the Crawford Roberts neighborhood. And Bill 1444, resolution that the mayor and the director of city planning on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh are hereby authorized to enter into a professional services agreement with Keenan Says to aid in the research and project management of the City of Pittsburgh's equity audit of public art and memorials at a cost not to exceed $15,000.
Thank you. You've heard the reading of the title of the bills. Is there any discussion on the bills? Seeing none, the bills are ready for final action. All in favor of the passage, vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Ms. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mrs. Kelsmith, President.
Aye.
7 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you. The bills having received the legally required number of votes is finally passed. And that moves us on to Councilwoman Barbara Warwick, Committee on Innovation, Performance, and Asset Management and Technology. Thank you.
Councilwoman Warwick presents Bill number 1469, reported to Committee on Innovation, Performance, and Asset Management and Technology for April 26, 2023, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1441, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Innovation and Performance to enter into an agreement or agreements and amendments thereto with Computronics USA, Inc. for a 3-year term with 2 one-year renewal options to provide ongoing professional services to continue to develop and upgrade the POS LMS system in support of the One Stop Pittsburgh permitting program, meeting the needs of the City of Pittsburgh at a sum not to exceed $2,526,254. And Bill 1442, resolution amending Resolution 418 of 2022, which authorized the mayor and the director of the Department of Finance to enter into a maintenance agreement with OPEX Corporation for maintenance services related to the Falcon Red document scanning workstation by adding a year of maintenance service at a cost not to exceed $23,000.
Thank you. You've heard the reading and the title of the bills. Is there any discussion on the bills? Seeing none, the bills are now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage, vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Ms. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mrs. Kelsmith, President.
Aye.
7 ayes, 0 noes.
The bills having received the legally required number of votes are finally passed. That moves us on to our last committee of the day, which is Councilwoman Deborah Gross, Committee on Intergovernmental and Educational Affairs.
Madam President.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Councilwoman Gross presents Bill number 1470, reported to Committee on Intergovernmental and Educational Affairs for April 26, 2023, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1430, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewage facilities plan for 2117 through 2127 Rose Street, 5th Ward. And Bill number 1431, resolution authorizing the URA of Pittsburgh or an URA of Pittsburgh affiliate to acquire all the city's right, title, and interest, if any, into the following publicly owned properties in the 18th Ward of the City of Pittsburgh, designated in the Deed Registry Office of Allegheny County as Block 15M, lots 99, 102, 103, 104, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 126, 127, and 128, all in Council District Number 3. And Bill Number 1432, resolution authorizing the URA of Pittsburgh or URA of Pittsburgh affiliate to acquire all the city's right, title, and interest, if any, into the following publicly owned properties in the 15th Ward of the City of Pittsburgh, designated in the Deed Registry Office of Allegheny County as Block 56C, lots 224, 226, 227, 228, 229, and 230, Council District Number 5. And Bill 1433, resolution approving execution of a deed by and between the URA of Pittsburgh and the City of Pittsburgh for the sale of Block 31G, Lot 202, formerly a part of Block 31G, Lot 200, in the 31st Ward, City of Pittsburgh, Hayes Woods, Council District 5.
Thank you. You've heard the reading and the title of the bills. Is there any discussion on the bills? Seeing none, the bills are now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage, vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus.
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger.
Aye.
Ms. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mrs. Kelsmith, President.
Aye.
7 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you. The bills having received the legally required number of votes are finally passed. That moves us on to motions and resolutions. I have a few meeting announcements. This afternoon at 12 p.m., Council will hold an executive session on personnel matters. Also, this afternoon at 1:30 p.m., Council will hold a cablecast post-agenda discussion on the state of mental and behavioral health services in the City of Pittsburgh, and May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Tomorrow, Wednesday, May 3rd, Council Standing Committee meeting Committee's meeting is scheduled for 10 a.m. here in Chambers. It will be chaired by Councilman Lavelle. Also, tomorrow afternoon at 1:30, Council will hold a cablecast public hearing on Bill 1178 as it relates to an ordinance amending the Pittsburgh zoning code to update the standard for certain HVAC equipment and setbacks. And I think, is that going to be, Councilman Strasburg, are you going to chair that? Okay, Councilman Strasburg will chair that. And to register to speak at tomorrow's meetings tomorrow's meeting and hearing, please fill out the sign-up form on the council's meeting webpage or call the clerk's office at 412-255-2138. Speaker registration will close at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. As an early reminder, during the week of the primary elections, council will hold both meetings on Wednesday, May 17th, with the regular meeting at 10 a.m. and the standing committee's meeting at 1:30 p.m. Is there anything from members? Seeing none, can I have a motion to excuse the absent members, approve the minutes, and adjourn the meeting?
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.